In January 2022, a good friend of mine, HDI International Airport, asked me about my opinion on the Uzbekistan Dreamliner aircraft model, and I said, you know what, let me do a review for you. And now, 14 months later, here it is. So I guess no one can ever come back to me again and say that I don't work fast. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 787-8 of Uzbekistan Airways. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Uzbekistan Airways branding. On the back side of the box we then have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life, and we are provided with a web link by Herpa Wings where we can get more information about the aircraft model. The link, however, does unfortunately not work anymore. And here she is, the Boeing 787-8 in the current standard livery of Uzbekistan Airways. This model was made by Herpa Wings back in 2017, so long before they added any additional detailing, and marks the last Scale 500 aircraft model featuring the Uzbekistan Airways livery to date. But who knows, maybe Herpa will surprise us and we can find a few details here and there that we did not expect. And the best way to find out if that is the case is simply by taking a closer look at the aircraft model, starting off with the tail section where we on the vertical stabilizer find the Uzbekistan Airways branding. On top of the stabilizer we then also find the flag of Uzbekistan, and on the horizontal stabilizer we also have a few printed details. On the fuselage we then find the aircraft type specification, the Dreamliner branding, and crucially also the full registration code of the aircraft. And towards the very tail of the aircraft we then also have a bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the writing of Uzbekistan, and that's then it. I mean, yes, we have the cabin doors and the cabin windows, but the fact that I have to point that out just shows you how bland this model really is here, because there's nothing. So let's see if we can find at least something around the cockpit section itself, and what we can find here, well, are the cockpit windows, the window wipers, and above the cockpit windows the emergency hatch for the cockpit. But for example, the markings around the nose cone, that has been left out as well from Herpa Wings. It was standard back in the day, but still, this is very bland. So let's see what the engine nacelles have to offer. They have been kept in this bright blue tone that we also find on the top of the fuselage, and have the silver leading edge printed on, as well as the Uzbekistan Airways branding, so at least that. The physical detailing, however, I think is the more convincing part about the engine nacelles, where Herpa has done an excellent job with the chevron nozzles, and also here from the front where we very nicely can see the engine fan blades. From the engines we can move on to the wings, which we should definitely also take a closer look at, starting off with the top side where we can see the different flap slats and spoilers have been carved out, although it kind of disappears a little bit in the white painting, but we do have the marking as to where to walk on the wing, at least that. The underside of the wings then again a little bit of physical detailing, and then the full registration code of the aircraft once again. The landing gear is very much the standard landing gear that Herpa has been using for all their Dreamliner aircraft models for years now. A good thing for the main landing gear, which looks really nice, and also the front landing gear I think is pretty alright, but it does lack some printed details. What a surprise. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft, and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 787-8 in the current standard livery of Uzbekistan Airways from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500, and what can we say about this aircraft model? Okay, so the search for any additional details was not very fruitful, but perhaps not that surprising. As I mentioned, the aircraft model is from 2017, so that was long before Herpa even thought about actually adding any relevant details to their aircraft models. The physical detailing, however, is still brilliant. Herpa's mold for the 787, 8, 9 or 10 is really good, and also the physical detailing, like for example on the engines on this aircraft model, is just perfect. But I don't think that the physical detailing is really enough to justify getting this aircraft model. I think the main reason for anyone to buy this aircraft model must be, well, the livery, or in any way a connection to the airline. And sure, I wouldn't call the Uzbekistan Airways livery beautiful, but it certainly stands out. and is definitely a colorful dot in anyone's collection. But honestly, I wouldn't mind Herpa making, perhaps an A321neo of Uzbekistan Airways. I think that could be a really lovely model in 2023. But that's just me dreaming out loud. Now, with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, and of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.